So you're on an online dating app like Tinder and Bumble and you're wondering what you should not talk about? Well, in this video, we are going to cover that. My name is Koen from Hovalo. Hovalo is an online dating outsourcing company. We do the texting and you do the dating. And let's get into the video. So point number one is self-deprecation. Making fun of yourself is fun when you're with friends and all that kind of stuff, but making fun of yourself when you're trying to convince a girl to date you, which you are subconsciously trying to do, it's not gonna work. Even if you're kidding, she does not know if you're kidding. In reality, you can potentially make a joke about it, but keep in your mind, is this something that I'm actually very sad about or actually frustrated about? Because if you are, then chances are very big that you're just trying to mask it and it's just something subconsciously that comes up instead of you actually making a joke about it. You need to manage the image that you're trying to portray to a girl on Tinder and Bumble. And if you are talking bad about yourself, how are you expecting somebody else to love you if you are constantly talking yourself down? It's not the job of the other person to actually convince you that you're a cool person. Point number two is politics. Politics has become really tribal. So it's like groups against each other. And one of the things that you will see on a dating platform is there's no way to have civil discourse. So even if you might want to have a normal and civil conversation, that will not happen. You get arguments, you get fights. And you know what? Not a place is to fight. On a dating app like Tinder, your goal there is to have a conversation with a person, filter out if they're cool enough to hang out and potentially hook up with, that kind of stuff. Get a relationship. And maybe then along the line, somewhere between dating and a relationship, you can potentially bring up those things. You can potentially be like, hey, what's your opinion about it? And then you can have a civil conversation about it. The third thing that you don't want to talk about, which is semi-controversial, but it is compliments. And the reason for that is that 95% of you guys are probably using compliments in the wrong way. A lot of people that don't have massive success in online dating, they often make too many compliments. The reality with compliments is if her value is here, your value is here. If you go out and make a bunch of compliments, you're just raising her value and your value is here. So you're just creating a bigger gap in value. You don't want to create a bigger gap in value. You need to learn when can I give a compliment and why. And if you do it the wrong way, you're doing damage. Do you want to damage the conversation? You probably don't. Therefore, watch out by using them. Limit them. Very limit them. Until you reach a stage where you're I kind of understand why I compliment a person. Point number four is when you're too much into yourself. That's the other side. When you think you're too amazing, you really try to push for it, that's not really doing well for the interaction. So when you look at your value ratios and your value is about similar size and you're trying to constantly bump up, if she sees you as a similar size, you're constantly trying to forcefully with her obviously noticing, trying to raise it up, it's not gonna work. But if you do it in a subtle way, it does work. So that's the mindset shift that you need to make. One easy way to get into a situation where you're not coming across as somebody who's too much into himself is every time when you talk, also try to downplay it a little bit. And depending on how big the value is that you're saying, the bigger you want to downplay it. It's good to talk about yourself in a value increasing way or have other people talk about you in a value increasing way. But if you do it in the wrong way, your value actually goes down. So be mindful about talking too much about yourself in the wrong way. If you want to know how to actually talk about yourself in the right way, leave down in the comments. I will actually cover it in a video so I can give you some in-depth understanding about how to actually do this. And number five is the current health crisis. Same with politics, there's people with very strong opinions about this kind of stuff. It's a fairly new situation with something massive that has impacted so many different things. So what is good is just try to be neutral in this element. Even if you have a strong opinion, you can keep the strong opinion and you can go on Twitter and you can argue with people there, right? There's no reason for you to do that on a dating app. A dating app is called dating app for a reason. So don't expect to have a civil conversation on a dating app. That's not what a dating app is for. A dating app is for dating. Once you get to the date, you can discuss things. But in general, it's better to even wait for the second date where you're actually more comfortable with each other. So that was it for our video about the 5 topics that you should definitely not cover when you're having a conversation on Tinder or Bumble. My name is Koen. I hope you enjoyed the video. Like and subscribe and leave in a comment if you've ever talked about one of these topics and how did it end. Hope you have a great day and see you in the next video.